Welcome back. Welcome back to Face Off Around the Culture, your weekly HBCU band recap. I'm your host, Horatio.
My name's Vidal. How y'all doing this week, brother?
Hey, man, I'm having a great week. Bro, band just jazzes me up so much, bro. I'm watching these clips. I'm standing up. I'm having a good time, bro. Just something about marching band that still gets me going, man. What you think about this week and some of the matches that we had?
Look, I got a little scared coming into the week. I said, man, I gotta watch all these clips, man. Some good matchups too. So,
Right.
where am I gonna find the time and mental space to really just dedicate myself to be in the moment,
Hmm.
be in the moment, and really enjoy what's going on? Because we had some heavy hitter matchups,
Right.
and even though you don't like them, the small bands was hitting this week.
Yes, we did. Yes, we had some really good matchups this week, man. I'm excited. Okay, so let's get into our topic. All right.
Okay.
Now, one of these matchups brought this topic out of me, and I just wanted to get our audience and your opinion on it. Can you outwork your band? Like
Oh gosh,
how?
yes.
And on a sub question, how do you know when your band is tired? How do you know that they are outworked? In one of these, we always talk about give it all you got. We got to go for it, but we do have lips. We do have, what I'm saying. We are human. So, what do you think about that? Can you outwork your band?
See, you taking that approach with it, right?
Hmm.
I'm gonna take you my spin on. You can outwork your band by giving too much music to where it starts to sound microwavy. It
Hmm.
doesn't sound like it's been in the oven too long. You playing the right notes, you
Right.
playing the right rhythms, you playing your part, but it's not really being conveyed. It's not selling. The meal is there, but the flavor is out the box.
I didn't, bro. That's such a great. I didn't even think about it musically. I was thinking more of like actual physically, like they're tired, like they sound tired. But we're gonna get to one of these battles that made me think about that. But just in general, just in musically, it's so great. Like outworking your band with too many arrangements, too many schemes on the field. Like I'm sure we've all had that time of band. We go, yo, they're doing a lot. The staff, the directors, they're doing a lot right now, and I don't think that we can keep up. But we're gonna come back to that. That's gonna be our topic and our theme throughout the whole episode. Okay, man. Like you said, we have some great matchups. Who do you want to get into first?
Let's get Graham and PV. Let's go Graham
Okay,
PV.
Graham and PV. Okay. Surprisingly, this was the battle that that made me think about the theme. Um, First of all, let's go through my notes. PV now it's at where's it at? It's at PV, right?
I believe no, this is a classic. So I think
Right. It
they
wasn't
are
even
in
there.
a
It was somewhere. Yeah, it was a different
yeah,
place. But PV
yeah.
started off with great energy, right? I like their first song. To to me, they had like when we talk about starting off strong and everything, they really like did it. I thought they did a good job. I put their trumpet hangovers went flat. We talked about their trumpets last week. Um, Gremlin sounds tired. First song. That's what made me think tired. Like they sound physically tired.
Mhm.
UFOs sound hurt. We talked about Gremlin last week with their UFOs in there too. It's like their whole sound kind of depends on them. So if they sound hurt like they did this night, they're a big part of their sound. So
Look,
um
yeah.
now again I put PV came back, played Say Yes. We talked about them playing Say Yes against
They
Southern,
play Southern, yeah.
right? Um took the bait. Grambling took the bait. We talked about taking the bait last week, which means you pay the ballot just to, bro. Grambling fell for everything. I'm like, bro, is everybody sleepy? Like, it's the band is tired.
Mhm.
I felt bad for the kids at some point. I literally thought that it was raining. You know how like when it's
Mhm.
raining, your embouchure is hard for you to stay still, or whatever. I'm like, well, maybe it's raining. And I'm looking at the people on the ground, like, well, nobody has an umbrella, nobody's like covering their head, nobody's doing that, so maybe it's not raining. So
Mm.
I'm like, look, they took the bait. They played "I Miss You" by Aaron Hall Graham. I'm talking about now,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it sounded terrible. I put sounded terrible. Um, so much so I thought it was raining. PV came back, bro. PV dubbed this, in my whole opinion. They got the whole battle. I didn't
I
give him.
think so.
I didn't give Graham one round. I said PB came back with Red Rum, which was good. Gremlin played a Metro Boomin song, which I am tired of that tag. If you
Yeah, ra-ra-ra-ra-ra.
oh, everybody plays that, but they played that. And I put I'm tired of that. And then finally, oh not even finally, I got a lot more. Gremlin needs to jump in the portal to get new trombones. It is terrible. Like like they just something in the battle where they did like a loud punch. It is
Yeah.
like dun, and then the trombones come in, as the foundation, like trombones do. Bro, it was like and then the trombones came. I'm like, oh man, come on, bro, get in the portal. Somebody, come on, man. Grambling players played another ballad, very choppy and out of tune. PV ended with a banger, an absolute banger to send them home. Grambling ended with "Wet the Bed," the song. PV took it, in my opinion, man. What's your thoughts on Grambling versus PV?
Look. So I I initially I watched the battle, and I heard how both of the bands and they were sounding tired. I said, "Yo, what's going on, man?" Because the way Grambling was playing last week, they can't show up like this. They already dead, and it's the beginning of the
Right,
fifth.
right.
And I'm like, PV is like they didn't get no better, but they're not bad. So I looked. I went to the football game. The football game had 5 overtimes. 5 overtime.
You said, wait, hold on. What you mean by that? Have five
Five.
overtimes?
So it's like you got the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, and if they tie, you got overtime.
Right.
And then if they still tie, you got a second overtime.
Yeah.
And if they still tie, you got a third overtime.
That's why they were so tired. Okay, I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, what is going on? They literally sound drained.
So
Yeah.
this was the 10th quarter that they played, not the fifth. It was the 10th.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, they coming in, and then it's a classic. A lot of times with classic, you got performances. You got to go to the high school down the way to show your stuff
Right.
before the game day. So I understand. However, I got to talk about what was played, right? So let me start with Grambling. You live by the euphonium, you die by the
Yeah.
euphonium.
You're gonna die bomb.
If your band, any band, if your band is really dependent on the euphonium section to carry melodies and to carry sound, if they phase out, your whole sound just falls apart.
Definitely.
It's not gonna take too much for it to fall apart. And my opinion, right? This is my opinion. Some of these bands should have never switched to a lot of euphoniums. I don't think they was really ready to really
They
carry
weren't
these
ready
melodies.
for 'em.
No, I don't think so. I
It
don't
was
think
a
so.
trend. It was a trend that
Right?
there was a musical trend that everybody hopped on thinking that it was going. But now it's so loud that they're overpowering the band sometimes. And then if they drop out, then like you said,
Mm-hmm.
Grambling has that problem though, and they don't have the trombones per se to help back that UFO presence. But yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So with PV, I think they had a pretty good showing. Not what I wanted or really expected from them, but given the length of the game and how everything's going, I'm okay and satisfied with it.
Mhm.
I like the say yes placement as far as song selection, and I think they really came to win this battle. I feel like they took this battle seriously. I felt like they really wanted to take it. They wanted to have a decisive win because if I'm PV coming into the week, I'm seeing Graham from the last week, I'm like, okay, if we knock Graham off, we kind of move our stock up just a
Right.
little bit
Yeah.
in aware in the imaginary band rankings in my
No, they
mind.
did. Yeah,
Yeah.
they should. PV should feel very good coming into. We're gonna get into who they play coming up, but they should feel really good about themselves. They, to me, took the whole thing. Now,
Mm-hmm.
granted, like you said, it was the 10th round or whatever, but hey, man, they still showed up. So shout out to PV. That makes me like PV a little bit more in like knowing that,
Mm-hmm.
because to me, I thought they did a good job. The only part that I thought was like really bad from them was their trumpets, but Grambling, man,
Mm-hmm.
sounded tired. So yeah, anything to wrap up PV and Grambling.
Man, I think that's it for me, man. I think shout out to both bands for showing up and playing, but sometimes you gotta have that number one, know your band and endurance, man. So you can't throw everything on one section. And if especially you out there, you playing fifths, you playing zeros,
Yeah.
and you playing the whole game, you got to be smart about what you playing.
Ooh,
'Cause you will
right.
live, you live by the euphonium, you die by the
Yeah, man.
euphonium.
Bro, that's the sub theme by today. Live by it, die by it. Let's go back to Raja, who said, "Bro, I thought Horatio pulled up in a robe, but this is my Miami shirt. Okay, that's what I call it, which is very nice, very slick. All right, I just thought that I bring that
Ray
back up.
DeMore.
I just thought I'd bring that back up. You know what I'm saying? Since we comment about my shirt, this is a great shirt. All right, let's move on. Shout out to PV though, man. They took it in my opinion. Let's talk about A&T versus South Carolina State. Did you see this?
No, I didn't catch this one yet.
Okay, great. I mean, you didn't. I got you. All right. So this entire time, I want to direct this to the staff of the athletic
Yeah.
staff. This entire fifth was riddled by fireworks. Now we know in band,
Oh yeah, I
your
did see
school
some of this.
wins. They give you some fireworks, probably during your school song, kind of. If there are going to be any fireworks, it's right after the game into the school song, pretty much done. Bro, they had 15, 25 minutes of but the entire fifth damn near was fireworks. So it's very hard to listen to the bands. So this also got the bands off of tempo sometimes, Anti and South Carolina State, because I mean it's very loud. I mean, very loud fireworks. And you can only compete with that, but so much. Like we've all played with fireworks playing, and you damn near can't even hear anything. So we showed you how loud fireworks are, right? So I have staff don't have the fireworks show so long after because there are people that are here that wants to see the band. That's one. Two, this performance from Antique didn't really give me anything new or take anything away from them to me. It was just like, the best thing about this battle was South Carolina State. South Carolina State looks complete. Like when I battled South Carolina State at that place, they were like they weren't together. They weren't locked in. This South Carolina State was locked in. You could tell they had something to prove by at this battle, like the energy that they had. I put like they look complete. So shout out to South Carolina State, man. I think like you said, a sub theme of today is you live by the UFO, you die by it. But also just like don't let your band die. And I think South Carolina State is doing a great job. Not even let their band die, but like they never was gone per se, but like letting like the culture. They get to like they're embracing their culture and it's starting to like show a little bit more. Because they're starting to get more elite. And when you start to get more elite on that level and you start to go up against people like A&T, you go, A&T, I mean, who is this? I mean, you start to be like the big bands that you thought were pretty big and like, oh, we could take them now. So I feel like South Carolina State is at that level. It's shout out to them. What you got?
How did this one compare to the one we saw versus Fam?
With
South Carolina State. South Carolina State.
It was a lot more energy. I thought they were a little bit more together. Again, a lot of them had tempo problems, and it was majority fireworks again, so you couldn't really hear. Like a lot of people in the comments were saying, you didn't really have to post this. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't new songs, and that's another thing too with these MEAC schools, bro. Is the book? There's no difference between the kids in Mississippi and the kids in the Carolinas. So tell me why the kids in Mississippi can give me a new song every fifth, at least 2 new songs every fifth. You know what I'm saying? And they play the same songs over and over again. So knowing your competitor, you've already seen these songs that they play. So it's nothing that's going to grab you. So to me, South Carolina State got this. I mean, okay, Anti had a song I thought was really good. You could tell what songs that they like. It was like a newer song. Like I thought it was like kind of like their last song of the fifth, or maybe second to last. That was pretty good. But to me, the energy that South Carolina State had, they look more complete. I'm looking at it as a full picture. When I battle South, because we used to like, come on, man, we used to trounce on South Carolina State. So now, like, they are a competitor, and that's actually like a lot of these starting bands are not letting their bands die, man, and they're starting to regain their culture. And so it's exciting to see.
That's what's up, man. I gotta check that one out. If there's a good clip where the fireworks don't do too much,
it's not. Yeah,
it don't exist.
Just chalk it up to next year. All right, but this is a good setup for next year because South Carolina State is going to beef up a little bit more. They're going to get some more people. I'm telling you, South Carolina State to me is in a bag. So I'm excited to see what they do. Let's move on. Let's go to Alcorn versus Mississippi Valley.
Okay.
I loved this battle. I love this battle, bro. This was so good. If you want to watch a battle and you don't gotta put no skips, you can just run it straight down. Put on this Alcorn versus Mississippi Valley. First of all, look, man. I love big bands. Mississippi Valley is stacked, bro, and they look good.
Yeah.
Like they last year they looked kind of like all over the place, but now they're not as big to me as they were. Or maybe they're bigger, but they really look clean. Like they look together. They sound is a lot better. What do you think about them, and kind of what was your expectations kind of going into it?
One thing that I wanted to know is the presentation, just how your band really looks when they just in the stands. And Valley was giving me a real good energy presentation wise, except for the drum major. I'm gonna talk about that in a second.
Okay.
But good energy presentation wise. I like how the band was set up. I like the dancer placement. I like how engaged the band really felt
Right.
during the battle. They felt like they were in it to
Mhm.
entertain. And on the other side, I look at Alcorn, and it's just kind of like the sound is there, but there it doesn't seem like they're engaged and
Yeah.
participating in the same way.
But doesn't it show you like the difference between being like in an elite band and being not, right?
Hmm.
Because
Look.
outcome wasn't bad. Like I wasn't really judging like their music per se because they sounded good. Like they sounded great. First song they played was "It's No Crime to Open." I put great tubas, right?
Hmm.
Good energy. I said Miles open loud. It was very upbeat, great energy. Giving it to him. I said I'm giving it to him only because of song selection. Mississippi Valley. Like
Hmm.
this is where when you start to get into elite levels, you're really just judging song selection and placement rather than y'all sound flat. You know what I'm saying? We
Hmm.
passed that. So Arkham came back with My Girl Likes to Party All the Time, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
Never really heard that song. I'm sure they probably played it in the 80s when Eddie Murphy came out, had it out. But great. I put Writing is solid. Yo,
Yeah.
real quick memory. Honda 2018 or something like that. I am with it was some guys from Bethune and Alcorn. We're hanging out at the hotel. And we have like this like little like band confessional kind of like where we're telling people our business, which we're not supposed to. But we're like, this dude at Alcorn tells me this. He says, "Man, we would be so much better if we had better arrangements." So I always think about Alcorn when I see them.
Hmm.
And like Alcorn has done a good job with going down the path of like having old students arrange and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
every time I hear a good written song from Alcorn, I always think about that
Yeah. That
because
party. Yeah. That party all the time was really nice. I
yeah,
said I want to hear this in like a parade setting, like
right,
going.
right,
Oh, that would be so nice. Like
hmm
going down the street like a Mardi Gras or something. That would be crazy.
yeah, yeah. Mississippi Valley came back, man, with some heat, bro. Came back with a great selection. I didn't know the name of it, but
I
absolutely
think
great selection.
Cameosis.
You said what?
It's called Cameosis by
Yes.
Cameo.
hmm Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounded like it was that type of like that sound. So yes,
Hmm.
Alcorn came back with Prove It. Again, these are great. Like we don't have no complaints about none of these. Like
Hmm.
both bands sound great. Prove It by 21 Savage, great. Like I haven't heard the band play that. That song came out in 2023, great. Mississippi Valley played After Last Night. We talked about that when they I think they played it as a ballad in
Hmm.
the one of them like that Houston or Charlotte battle or something like that.
Yeah.
Fantastic, man. Like
Hmm.
what I like about Mississippi Valley is their high brass in the song.
Yeah.
They really sound good. Good mellophone, good trumpet. What do you think?
Okay. So I wasn't too fond of that one. I wasn't too
Really?
fond of that one. Yeah. I like the selection. I didn't like how they interpret it.
Yeah, it
It
was
was
very
like,
bright. I mean, but they have that
yeah.
Talladega, Talladega brassy, like
Yes.
type of sound. And they're gonna do that with every song, which is what I love.
That's what I was saying. That's what
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like.
yeah.
I was just kind of like, oh, I get it, but I was like, I want to hear. It's kind of like you trying to smack me in the face and then love me at the same time, but it's not like power ballad. Like it's.
And they were kind of making it choppy.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see why you said that.
Yeah.
They were trying to make it choppy to Crank when they didn't really have to
Yeah.
be up. I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I like that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They played in the ghetto. But that's what I'm talking
Oh, that
about,
was
man.
crazy.
Like, man, when it comes down to though, like you talking about like maybe in a ballad that may not work, but man, a
Mm-hmm.
song like In the Ghetto
Yeah.
works perfectly, man. Shout out to them. Um, yeah, man. I
Yeah.
put I forgot the song I'll gonna play after that. Mississippi Valley played after that, Shining Star. They play I Got the Power, which I thought was great. The only problem that I have with Valley is their cutoffs. Guys, if we're
Mm-hmm.
going to be an elite program, we cannot have 3 different trumpet sounds at the end of every selection. You know what I'm saying? 3
Yeah.
different trumpet
Yeah.
hangovers at the end of selection. Like
Mm-hmm.
going to that Jackson State game versus Texas Southern, they did a great job with that. And I watched it right after that. So I was like, this is exactly the difference between an elite program and whatever, because these trumpets, they cutting off, but they sound the same. The Mississippi Valley trumpets, you can hear okay, it's 4 of them.
Everybody got 3.
Yeah,
Yep.
everybody
3,
has a
4. Yep.
different type of sound tone. And if you're gonna have trumpets do that, you either have one that you know is gonna hit it, or you know what I'm saying, or they need to work to try to sound alike, more alike.
When we talking about elite programs, right? I feel like this is what we need from both of these bands to get them to that next level, right? I wrote down elite programs have signature sounds and
Mhm.
signature section sounds. Meaning,
Yeah,
when you hear that traditional FAMU trombone sound, you
hmm
know exactly what that is.
right,
When you hear that even Bethune tuba sound, you
hmm
know what that is.
right.
When
Tennessee
you
State
hear,
too,
hmm
or yeah,
you know the Dizziac sound when you hear it. You
right,
know that. With these, I it was such a good battle that it was so even that you could
mhm,
put it on,
right.
and if you weren't looking at it, you didn't know who was
Who was playing?
you
But
didn't know who was
that's the good
playing.
thing about Alcorn too. Alcorn's culture is pushes them a little bit more than Mississippi Valley because
Hmm.
Mississippi Valley is really the transfer portal band. If you want to,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
because like it feels like they got a whole bunch of people out of nowhere and kind of like put them all together who probably weren't even um there or at the school like that to begin with. So shout
Yeah.
out to them, man. If
My question
anything,
for you. Go ahead.
I'm about to say if anything, this is a win for Mississippi.
Yeah. Oh, so most definitely, most definitely. Shout out Mississippi. My
Bro,
question for
Mississippi had
you
the
is,
best. They may have the best HBCU bands.
yeah, because all of them hit, Valley's hit,
All of them
all
hit.
fours hit.
Hey man, Jackson
Alabama might
Pride.
have something to say, but
Right.
that's a whole nother.
Right.
That's a
But yeah,
whole
go ahead.
nother
You say you
thing.
got a question.
Look, so with the Alcorn and Talladega has had this rivalry for like what 10 years now.
Mhm.
Does this rivalry transfer over to Valley for a separate one, or do we throw all three in the mix? What?
Bro, all three, bro. We gotta throw all three. I was thinking about it too. Since Valley sounds so much like Dega and they got the old band director, whatever. I'm like, damn, that Dega sound is really the band director. Like, because he was
Mhm.
there from the beginning of the program. So it's
Right.
like that Dega sound is really the band director. So he really taking that and throwing. He's like, probably, well, I have better, not better, but different, more resources over here than maybe I had at Dega.
Mhm.
A football team. You know what I'm saying? They have
Right.
just a little bit more, so he can probably work with a lot more. But yeah, man, shout out to him, man. Shout out to the director. But yeah, you got to go all three now. All three is the
Uh,
way to go. Let's have a battle with all three of them. It'll be great. And to
mhm.
close this out, uh, Valley ran 3 songs on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I put the last song was very like we talked about that brassy like that Talladega thing. It
Mhm.
was the epitome of that. A good closeout, a good you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So yeah, I thought it was great. Shout out to Valley, took that for me, but I mean, only by a hair. And Alcorn man did a great job. The writing was fantastic. Their culture showed more than Valley's because Valley don't really have that. But yeah,
Mhm.
shout out.
Yeah, shout out both bands. I had Valley taking it. I will say for Alcorn though, this is one of the most like balanced Alcorn bands
Yes.
that we've really seen in a while, especially between the euphonium trombone and just high
Trombone,
brass
right?
in general. I think they need some more in the trumpet department.
Mm-hmm.
But trumpet's scarce. It's a little scarce out here in this transfer portal world, man. Trumpet's
Yeah.
a little scarce. It's a
Hey
hot
man,
commodity these days.
Jackson got them all, bro. Jackson got them all. They traded Prime and them and got got the trumpets.
Take the football
They had,
team
they
with
had to
the
get
trumpet.
the door out of there to get trumpets. It's crazy. But yes, yeah, shout out, man. That was a great battle, man. Again, if y'all want to
Yeah.
watch a good band battle and you just leave it on, check out Auckland versus Mississippi Valley. All right, let's get into our final one. Do you have any ones other than this one?
I did. Yes, I did watch one
All
more
right, yeah,
one.
go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, so I watched. Speaking of small bands, I watched Bowie versus Winston Salem.
Ugh,
Well, he said, Bowie sounds good, bro.
I gotta
Bowie
check it out.
sounds good. Bowie
I gotta
sounds
check it out.
good, man. Bowie sounds like if they have four trumpet, they play in tune. You can tell they be working together in sectionals, and the
Mm-hmm.
parts blend really nice. Sure, you hear some of them hack band songs,
Right.
but to me, I felt like it was refreshing.
Hmm.
It has that small band type of sound, but it doesn't sound like they're weak, or it doesn't. It still
Right.
sounds collegiate. Winston
Sound like
Salem,
adults.
yes, like it
Yeah.
still sound like grown folks playing, like still
Mhm.
when they were small.
Right.
And shout out to I'm not even a dancer person, but the
You
dancers
looking at the
showed the
dancers?
behind. They showed
Yo.
me behind this one. Like I was like, oh, okay.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
they let them just take the middle of the field. They was like close to the not like the 50, but if you could
Yeah.
split the long way in
Mhm.
half, you know what I'm talking about. But
Oh, okay. Okay. So they was both on the field, like long way.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
No,
Okay.
the bands was in the stands, but the dancers
Yeah.
was out
The
there like
dancers. Mhm.
had like a lot of space, man. So shout out to Bowie, man. It was just like we only got this many, but we all playing. They have a beautiful blend, and it gives you something. that the band where I really feel like we haven't seen much from programs yet, because we get a lot of small programs that try to overdo it, try to overplay, and then they sound bad, or some that just kind of sound too choppy and really don't have a lot of style. I feel
Right.
like with Bowie, they played a lot of style. Winston Salem, we've talked about Winston Salem. We know how they have that aggressive sound, strong, low brass,
Right.
and they're really punching it. But I like the diversity between these two groups, and it made me a Bowie fan, man. I'm not
Wow.
gonna lie. Like yeah, I need to make me a little small band list for
I
this.
know, bro. You about to be the small, bro. You got a
I be
list right
testing
now.
the gym
You
sometimes.
and Bowie. Who'd you go last? Like 2 weeks ago. Um,
I said UAPB. Well, that
UAPB.
wasn't
Well,
really
that's
small,
not a
but it's
small
like,
band. Yeah, but you know what I mean.
mhm,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you gotta make a little list. You gotta put a small band list
small
together,
band list, of
or
course.
maybe it's just an unsung band list or something like that.
Right.
Where people ain't really paying attention. But yeah, check it out. I'm gonna check that out. Bowie, you gonna make
Mhm.
me a fan, man. Shout out to Bowie. But see, the thing with the small bands is y'all got to change it up, man. If y'all gonna do these, like, I don't want to hear y'all play big ball. I don't want to hear hack songs. I'm tired of the hack band songs, and it's really getting from the small bands. They do it all the time. So, all right, let's get to Jackson State versus Texas Southern.
Okay, let's get it.
Okay, so again, when we talk about these elite bands, we gotta. It's not necessarily all about the, it's about song placement and kind of like the battle
Mhm.
per se. First song, Jack State was a killer, man. Arrangement was fire. I don't know the name of the song. I just thought it was great. You said last week that Texas Southern isn't a great stadium. I've never been there. You've been there before, right?
No, I haven't been there.
Okay, but to me, I thought it was a good setup. I've seen some good
Mhm.
Southern clips from that setup. So I was like, I know, like they had like the third row. You don't want to
Yeah,
be at the top, which I've seen other bands be at the top, but they weren't like OD
I
high.
don't think they had the same. I think they were a little lower this time.
Yeah, they were like the second level. So it was good. I thought it was a good placement. Ted Southern started off with the Frankie Beverly song, right? Southern Girl.
Southern
Which we
Girl.
know why. Rest in peace, Frankie Beverly.
Mhm.
But not to me. That is a mood changing song. Like that's a song you play
Mhm.
after you know what I'm saying, you like third, fourth round, you can switch it up. They played it first round, it didn't really compete like that. And that to me is the theme of this battle for me. I thought that
Mm.
Texas Southern like does a great job. Both of these bands are elite, like both of these bands are great bands, but to me, Texas Southern didn't choose the right songs that fit at the time for this battle.
Mm.
Um, I next, Jackson came with the energy with "I Need a Hero," which
Yeah.
I've always said. If I was a high school band director and I need a song to start up the battle, I'm choosing "I Need a Hero." Or I'm choosing like, dun dun, what's it called? The Hot Boys. I Need a Hot Girl. One like those quick
Mhm.
energy like songs, but "I Need a Hero" is definitely one of the ones. Shout out to like
Yeah.
the Detroit band that
I
play
was
the hell
like,
out of this song.
why didn't they play? I was like, I like this. Why didn't they play it first? I would have liked the energy if Jack State
Right.
had played this first. I was like, I wanted them to play this first when I heard it.
Yes, it's one of them like jump off like real quick. Texas Southern played a rap song. I thought it was good. Now this battle wasn't that long. It's about 25 minutes.
Mhm.
Jack State played the battle first. It was great. Jack State also played Peaches and Cream, which I thought was good. That's all I got. What
Yeah,
you got
man.
for Jack State?
Look,
Texas Southern?
I think for me, I'm going to that Texas Southern rap song. Texas Southern had these moments throughout the battle where they open up, and it's really like a moment. And
Right,
then you get to like the middle part of the song, and it's just kind of like they lose me.
right.
But what I really liked them is they had really dynamic arrangements, meaning they had different feelings,
Mhm.
different type of mood switches within the arrangements, and at the same time, they showed a lot of dynamic contrast. Where I felt with like Jackson State, it was a lot of the songs in the fifth, like okay, we come in strong,
Yeah.
have a melodic line, so like all the pieces is there, but
Mhm.
I'm not really getting the feeling I want to. And
Right,
then we go to the tuba break, and then we cranking up again.
right.
Everybody's yamming, but I'm really missing some intricate pieces that make me like feel the song. I felt that strongly about Peaches and Cream. I just felt like if I'm if I'm looking at it, I'm like that sounded like right notes, right rhythms on a sheet of paper right
Right.
before me. Where I
Yeah.
felt where I'm feeling like they could have styled this much better from the melodic line, how it was played. It was I feel like you can put that one back in the oven.
Right.
That would really inspire my take and interpretation on are you overworking them?
Right.
Because Jackson State has these past 2 weeks put out a lot of new material, but I felt like this week they didn't land as much. And I'm not sure what they do with the home band, away band type of thing. But I keep saying mellophones, the mellophone section here, then the mellophone section not here.
Mhm.
Like it's really it's changing a lot, and I really think it's hurting their sound because a lot of their arrangements need that middle color for the
Right.
mellophone sound to really take it over the top. And I just didn't feel like I really got it this week. I like their song selection. I just felt like some was missing as far as like execution for them being able to sell it. And it
Mhm.
was a hard sell for me to pick a battle because it's like, dang, I wanted this more from Jackson State. And then in one department, like feeling wise, and then Texas Southern was giving like that feeling wise, but then
Mhm.
it was also muddy
Right.
sometimes.
Right. Yeah. So I feel you. See, what y'all heard right there was a real alumni. That was a really good breakdown of your program because you kind of know like when when you have a little bit left. I didn't really get that though. I thought that
Mm.
I mean it was just straight. It was classic Jack like stamped up like just cranking like you just know what it's gonna be. So I when you were breaking it down, I'm like yeah, you know what I can see how you say that. Like it was like in a feeling. Texas Southern did have that energy that was like I'm going to show you. I'm going to show out for this moment per se. Where Jackson was
Mhm.
like, "This is kind of what we do." We're kind of like, we're going to crank the song up and then we're going to leave it.
Mhm.
So, but then again, like in that great question that we have, are you? And let's go back to our theme. Are you out working, or how do you know that your band is tired? And in what ways? Right? We just mentioned it musically, but I was talking about physically. You know,
Mhm.
but technically, physically, I mean, I used to always think about that too in the band. I'm like, yo, other than just like the workouts that maybe the freshmen do and stuff like that, and the workouts that after camp, you're not really working out like that all the like how you
You're not.
was in camp.
You're
I
not.
used to think about that all the time. I'm like, yo, we may have got a little weak, bro. We was during the season, we
They
was
go
all
to the
skinny and
calf
stuff.
all the time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Everybody walking around campus, but now it's like, it's October. It's about to be it's October now. You know what I'm saying? It's about to
Mhm.
be November. You get a
We
little
said this
comfortable.
at the beginning. We said once the October starts trickling in,
Yeah.
that's when people start going to sleep.
Right. All right. So, hey, man. So definitely at the start of this month, guys, we can't get lax. All right. But getting tired at the event is one of the worst things ever. Like being like tired, like and you got to keep going. You ever felt that? Like, oh man,
Mhm.
oh man, that's one of the worst things. But somehow you always find it. You always find it because playing your instrument, like when you have those moments, you realize, okay, yeah, I really like playing. Like I really enjoy playing my instrument because I'm still doing it even when I'm tired. That mirrored with waking up at like 4 in the morning having to play. Oh man, like an early
Right.
parade or something like that, bro. That is, oh man, that's the worst. That's how you know, like I
Bruh.
really love playing. Like
Right.
cranking up at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. You like, bruh,
Report time was already what 3 o'clock.
man, bro. And then everybody's tired. It's like that's how you know you really love band. Like you love music. Like you got a tune. And you like, we got to start from the beginning. Warm
let
ups
me
and everything.
let me tell you something I noticed this week, man. About I'm gonna pick on the Texas Southern Jackson State battle and the Alcorn Mississippi Valley battle. Some of these arrangements sound like they belong in All Star season, man. I can
Okay,
feel that
I
type of
like you
energy.
said that. What's the difference? Now
What's
we
the
know, but what's the
it's
difference?
it's look when I asked myself the same thing. I was just
Mhm.
like, it's a certain feeling.
Right.
It's I don't want to get into like the arrangement. Well, when you put these notes here, and
Yeah.
I think it's just the big grand entrance. We want to be
Mhm.
loud, heavy baritone,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
heavy
Heavy,
baritone
heavy
emphasis.
triplet with the baritones is always something like
Hmm.
very like yeah,
That
yeah,
type of it. Got the middle of the song, strong trombone chords. You'll get the melodies between the horns in certain special parts, but then the trumpets get the most of the time.
right.
I felt a lot of that influence between this Texas Southern battle and this Alcorn. Now, noted that some of these arrangements are with multiple all-star programs.
True,
Yes.
true.
So we got Antonio, he's with a GAM at Texas Southern. And you
Mhm.
have I don't even remember, got the dress. Shout out to him, whatever.
Where?
Alcorn. We have the
Okay.
blonde dress. I
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
he was with MAB this past summer.
Mhm.
Um, but it just made me like, is All Star a season really having more influence than
Yeah,
the other way around.
because we know that the HBCU band, like the arrangement versus the All Star arrangement, is a little bit more polished. It's not. It's not as brassy. It's not as ratchet. I mean, you want musically
Mhm.
ratchet. Just be honest, you know.
Yeah.
And because you're representing an institution, is not you can't just be musically out there like that historically. But
Mhm.
I mean, that's kind of like a culture change though too. Like, but I
I
remember
agree.
too, I was at T and we wanted to play a song, the same exact arrangement that North Carolina All Star Band played, and we brought it to our assistant, and he was like, "Hell no," because they played it. Not because not you know the song was fine, but
Yeah.
because they played it. And
Mhm.
so you know, but that's more of like a culture thing too, right? A band like Mississippi Valley, but no, like Texas Southern Jackson State, those are elite programs. But a band like Mississippi
Yeah.
Valley, that's newer with direction, may go that route
Right,
because
and get
all
away with
those,
it too.
right, because all of those students are kind of going, you know, in the mix between all these all
Mhm.
star bands. But yeah, man, that's actually a great conversation. I never thought about that. But you could tell, like just like how I brought that to our director, you could tell like we were excited about that arrangement.
Mhm.
So it's a catch 22. You got to get somebody on the staff, on the band, HBCU band staff, that can kind of translate between the two and
Mhm.
make that presentable. But I'm starting to think that being musically ratchet for your institution is starting to be acceptable.
I think so. They teetering, they
Yeah.
slowly trickling in more and more and more. It's coming in more and more and more, especially like when you got the people that are on staff in both band areas,
Mm-hmm.
who's working during the summer and coming up into the fall, and with university university programs doing the
Right.
same thing. How do we cough and stuff at the same time? That was crazy.
Oh, I didn't even see that. That's crazy. That's crazy. But no, wow. But yeah, man. Shout out, man. But bro, we had a great week. We had a great week, man. Great matchups. But let's get into our next week predictions. Y'all know how it is when we I'm gonna say both names of the school. Give me the band that you think is just gonna win, just off a name
Okay.
alone, off of everything, and then we're gonna give a little reason. Lincoln versus Morgan State. I'm gonna give it to
Let's
Morgan
go
State.
Morgan.
Morgan
Morgan.
State.
Morgan's been
Mor-
good this year. I've
uh,
seen little clips. Morgan's been pretty all right.
Manny got friends at Morgan State. That's why he's saying that. Morgan is
I have no friends more.
Morgan. What I don't like about them is they dance too much. I
Mhm.
know we bands and we get down, but they dance way like they dance in the stands. They dance. They do a lot of dancing. I need to hear more brass from Morgan State. FAMU versus Alabama State.
Oh man, I
It's gonna
really
be
liked
good.
this battle last year. I really liked this battle
It
last year.
was good, man. Man, this gonna be a good one, bro. I'm gonna say Bama State, man. Bama State is ready, bro.
Mm.
Um, but FAMU's gonna is gonna be prepared. Who you
I'm
say?
going Bama State. I'm going Bama State, but I'm just excited to see it. I think this
This
is
gonna
gonna be
be
nice.
another good one. Another good one. Your boys, UAPB versus Alcorn. This gonna
Oh,
be a good one.
I'm gonna go Alcorn.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
go
go Alcorn.
Alcorn too, but UAPB is gonna okay. How they win or how they do better is don't just relax.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're gonna try to step up and like to me like they do a bad job of they do a bad job of like getting up for somebody UAPB
Yeah,
because last year
I agree.
yeah okay. Alabama A&M versus Jackson State.
I,
I'm going Jackson State, but A&M this could be good for you. This can be good
yeah.
for you. I haven't really seen a lot from them.
Nope. I think I'm going Jackson State. I'm not sure how this gonna go because last time Jackson State battled A&M, they got off. Like they got off. I don't know if it's gonna be
Yeah.
crazy like that, but we'll see.
But I'm gonna tell you what, A&M play your game. Don't play Jackson game. Let them play their game. Play your
Mm-hmm.
game. I'm for real. Because Bama, I mean, Alabama A&M is to me is like a soulful kind of band. Like they're like
Yeah.
they do a good job of doing their own kind of style. So hopefully, like they stay on that. Because if you try to play Jackson style, you're not going to win. Winston Salem versus Virginia Union. Haven't seen much of Virginia Union.
You still ain't watched the 10 minute.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Look,
Who was it? It was Union versus who?
dang it.
It's all good. I'm gonna check it
Johnson
out.
C. Smith. Johnson C. Smith.
John C. Smith, right? Okay, I'm gonna check that out. I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
really check
I'm
it
gonna
out.
take. Was it Winston versus?
Union.
I'm gonna go Union.
Okay,
We're going
okay.
Virginia. You
Look,
choose
Virginia State versus John C. Smith. Virginia State.
Virginia State. We're going
Virginia State
Virginia.
they do well in battles.
Yeah.
Virginia State is a battle tested program. Like they always are in a battle. They never really shy away from battle. So I like that. Savannah State versus Clark. Savannah. I haven't seen Clark either.
the Clark has. I'm been sitting on this one. Clark has actually. They had a gym battle versus Florida Memorial. I think 2 weeks ago, and I seen like the first 5 minutes. Yeah,
What did
I
they
think
talk
it came
about?
out like a Wednesday or something. So it was
Okay, yeah, it was one of them. Yeah, okay, that might be interesting. Uh, Lane versus Kentucky State. Kentucky State.
Kentucky State.
Morehouse versus Tuskegee. I'm going Tuskegee. I seen them this year.
Tuskegee.
I forgot who it was, but they did a good
They
job.
was
Fort
at
Valley.
They was at the. Didn't they have a battle of the bands. Tuskegee.
Yeah, yeah,
National battle of the bands. What they there?
yeah. In Houston, yeah, they was there.
Yeah.
Fort Valley versus Edward Waters.
Fort Valley.
Fort
Fort
Valley.
Valley has a good year this year, man.
Central State versus Miles. This is gonna be a good one for Central State.
Miles.
I'm choosing Miles, but Central
Yeah.
State, like you can like get up for Miles for real.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, and that's it. Okay, so we also want to talk about the Capital Battle of the Bands, which is this weekend. All right.
Right.
It's a face off. Is a sponsor, so you know you guys have to go. All right. Look, Bowie State is the first band of the list. Bowie State,
Come on, man.
Elizabeth City State, who I have some friends on who are on staff over there. Howard University. I'm excited to see Howard. I haven't seen Howard at all. I mean, well, no, but I saw him in that battle in New York. They did pretty
Mhm.
good, but it wasn't a full like we were talking about them with the media teams. They don't have a media team. North Carolina A&T, North Carolina Central, Virginia State, and Winston-Salem. Wow, this is like the DMV bands, or like the
Right.
North Carolina. Like this is a battle for the culture of the lower east. You know what I'm saying? Like shout out
Mhm.
to these bands. The Capital Battle of the Bands is October 5th, hosted by Dan Brand at the University of Maryland Stadium. Man, it's gonna be great. 6 p.m. I'm excited to see this, man. I'm excited to see this is a great lineup of bands. I think who I'm most excited to see, of course, my alma mater, North Carolina A&T, always put on a
Mhm.
great show. Who you most excited to see out of this lineup?
Who am I most? I'm definitely haven't. I haven't seen A&T in person in a good while, man. I haven't seen
Okay.
A&T in person in a good while, so I'm really excited to see A&T. I put my cap on for Bowie out there this week, so I gotta
Yeah.
ride and support Bowie. I can.
Yeah.
And
Now,
I've never seen Winston Salem in person, so I definitely want it. No, no,
really?
no, scratch that, scratch that. North Carolina Central, man. North Carolina Central, man.
Okay.
North Carolina Central.
North
Yes.
Carolina Central got good tubas, man. What? So, yeah. So the last time, have you ever seen A&T in person? Last time you see A&T was with me. Right?
I think the last one I seen A&T in person was what,
Yeah,
2014
we
when
saw.
they.
We saw him at
Yep.
Virginia State. Yeah, yeah. That was a
Yep.
good battle. I thought about that battle this week. That was such a good battle, man. That was a good one.
They need to
Yeah.
bring back the Virginia versus North Carolina. That was a good idea, man.
Yeah, it's Virginia versus North Carolina, but instead they have the Capital Battle of the Bands. This is this weekend. But definitely, guys, if you were
Yeah.
in Maryland, if you were in any surrounding area, and it says the same people. It's the
Yeah, it's the
same
same
people. Look
people.
at that.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. It's great ideas. All right. But yeah, if you're in the area, man, great. You want to check out some great bands, great HBCU bands. Check out
Hmm.
Capital Battle of the Bands. Support our culture, and
Yes.
yeah, man, we appreciate it. But to close out, to talk about our thing, we talked about overworking your program. Guys, we get it. We're working hard. We're grinding. All right. But sometimes the band be tired. Sometimes these kids got a lot going on, and you can hear it. All right. We can
Hmm.
hear it as the audience. Not only physically, but musically as well. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you give them a little bit
Hmm.
too many notes, too much music. So yeah, that was the theme of the night. Do you
Yeah.
have anything else left before we close up?
Bands, we love you. October strong. I know you tired. Also, stop
October Strong.
skating.
October Strong. Oh, wait,
We
hold on. Bro, why do we
see.
always forget the top 5 list? We always forget that. Let's really close out with our rankings for the
I ain't
week.
had one this week.
Okay, well you can take mine
let's,
or
let's go. Let's go off the cuff with it. Man.
yeah. All right. First band, I'm definitely doing Mississippi Valley. Valley did a great job in that battle. Got to
Okay.
give it to them. Second, I'm gonna do PV. I thought PV did a great job in that battle. To me, like they
Mm,
took the dub. Like PV hasn't had unanimous dubs in a long time. So to me, like this is something to be grateful for. Uh,
I agree.
Third, I'm gonna go Alcorn. I thought Alcorn did a really good job. Fourth, I'm gonna go South Carolina State. And fifth, I'm gonna go Jackson State. Not because like they didn't do a good job. I feel like these other bands did a better job in their margin of eliteness. I know you
I
said you don't
yeah.
have any, but do you at least agree with my list?
I pretty much agree with the metrics, like in terms of what they bring to the table, and these were some of those better performances. I think Mississippi Valley, that was a really good performance for them and really good showing for them. What really stuck out to me was their presentation and how they showed up when they played. And I think they did number one for that. Um, PV, I would slide them to three. I'll move Texas Southern up to the two.
Mhm.
I like the style that they play with and how they approached it. As far as overall execution, think it just needs some work for me. But musically, I love how they're conveying a message. I
And you
really
got to
like
throw Bowie
that.
in there. Throw Bowie in there as your fifth.
Oh, Boo is definitely going to be in the fifth because I was just like, man, I don't know why. It's just kind of like
I rock with
I don't
y'all.
it depend on what type of band head you are. It give you that nostalgia feel. Like I
Right.
remember when the bands was like
Band sounded
small
like
but really good. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Um. We slide them in three. Who gonna slide to four? We gonna slide PV at the four,
Mhm.
and then we gonna call it.
Yo,
Oh,
okay, that's
go
great.
Alpha somewhere.
Okay, that's great. So look, let's end on this. Shout out to Mississippi. I feel like Mississippi has the best HBCU bands this year. Doing a great job. But let's end on this real quick. Do you remember when you were in high school, or the first time that you heard a HBCU band, but like a small one, and you was like, "Man, that's great! Like this is like so great." I just saw a video. My one of my homeboys is a high school band director, and he sent a video to me of his band seeing like a smaller HBCU or just an HBCU band or whatever, and they were losing their minds. I was like, oh man, I just wish I could go back to that excitement of being so new in music that it's like wow. Like I didn't know that people could play this loud. I know it could be this clear.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're doing, but at a much bigger level. And if you've been in HBCU bands for a long time, you forget. Like you really only remember when you're marching down the street, looking at people react to you, really, because otherwise it's just y'all people and y'all everyday thing. Band is like life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. What was the first time you heard an HBCU band that you remember? And do you want that nostalgic feeling of being able to still get excited about even the smallest HBCU band?
Man, I remember the first time I seen this was 2010. 2010. I seen Norfolk State. I think we did. I see Norcom Battle Bands 2010. I seen Norfolk State, and they did
Mm.
Sideline Blowdown of "I'll Be in the Sky," and I was like,
Ooh,
"Ooh,
yeah,
that was really nice."
yeah,
And then
yeah.
I saw Bethune the next day, and I was just like, "Man, how you get that many people to march at the
Right.
same height at the same time?"
Mhm. Yeah, man.
Those were some moments.
Yeah, definitely classic, guys. We appreciate you guys for checking in. Face Off. Follow the brand at It's a Face Off on all social media. Definitely tap in with the Capital Battle of the Bands. Follow me on social media at Horatio Radio. Um, yeah, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next week.
See
Peace.
y'all next week.